this out.
You ask God for a good man, but when you ask God for a good man, it also points out how many flaws you have. Because when you're in a toxic relationship, you can justify why you run, why you don't do the hard things, because you're like, this is not my person. So I can really just bow out respectfully. And then I also know that this person's not necessarily deserving of me, so I'm not going to work towards it. I'm not going to fix my flaws. I'm not going to even acknowledge them, because his flaws are way worse than my flaws. But when you get a good man or woman, it requires you to face all the toxic parts of yourself that you haven't faced. So just understand that when God sends you your person, yes, it's going to be the best relationship you've ever been in, the most healthy, but it's also going to require the most work, because it's also going to point out all of your flaws and your offenses and the ways that you fall short. And you won't be able to run from it. You won't be able to just block them. You won't be able to just justify any of your bad behavior or your toxic qualities. You're going to have to face it head on, because your person, they're going to be willing to fight for you. They're going to be willing to see you, flaws and all, and still go hard for you. They're not going to run. They're going to be all up in your business, all up in your face. And guess what you're going to have to do? You're going to have to face it or fold. And you already know, ain't nothing in these streets. So
eat thou not the bread of him that hath an evil eye.
Don't you eat the bread of him that got an evil eye. Don't you mingle with the one that's up to no good.
That's right.
That's what that means.
That's right.
All right.
You know, and we all have to look in that mirror. We all have to face ourselves. And a large number of individuals are refusing to do that. They're refusing to face themselves. They are refusing to have a meeting with themselves. Because there's a lot to there's a lot of layers of one's past that they have to tear off. See? Those childhood traumas, those deep-rooted issues that shows up in your love life is the reason why you will self-sabotage your relationship, even your marriage.
But he can't.
Right.
So as a person think, so is he.
So is he.
Question is he what he think in God's eyes? Or is he what he think in his eyes?
So do you ladies feel like women are seriously ready for emotionally intelligent men?
Kitty, what do you think?
Okay, let's talk about what emotional intelligence comes with before we even get into this conversation, okay? We're talking about you wanting a man who is tolerant, who regulates his emotions, who also knows how to manage your emotions. But you're also talking about a man who knows how to navigate his sensitivities and everything else when it comes to that. But you have to consider that an emotionally intelligent man is good at cutting people off when he sees that your sensitivities bring too much reactivity. When he sees that you cannot regulate your emotions. When he sees that you have a low tolerance. This type of man that you are asking for is a man who will walk you out the door in a heartbeat. If he feels like you are disrupting his peace. If he feels like there's any level of disrespect, because there's a lot that comes with emotional intelligence. So if you asking for that, you got to come with the same level of emotional intelligence as well. Okay? That comes with a number of factors. So if you are a woman who knows that even though you may be sensitive to certain things like criticism, rejection, because you're not always going to be accepted. Sometimes he's going to bounce back, and sometimes he's going to say, I don't agree with your opinion. Sometimes he's going to say, I don't like those thoughts. Sometimes he's going to say, I don't like the way you speak to me. If you're not ready for that, don't be asking for an intelligent man.
You so much of anything.
That's right.
Don't look at what you have. The Lord giveth. And the Lord taketh away.
Taketh away.
He said, naked you came in the world. Naked you shall return.
And another thing too, don't ask for something that you're not ready for nor can handle. We hear women talk about, oh, you know, I want a man with these qualities of having high expectations for these men, but where they at though? How come you're not with them? Where's all these options that you talk about? You have none. Because if you had all these options, number one, your ass wouldn't be single.
Work hard.
Amen.
You young men, you better get this.
That's right.
You better get this.
Yeah.
You walked around huckabucking and jumping and shouting behind them chairs. There's somebody out there,
Amen.
or maybe somebody in here.
Yeah.
Am I right, I said?
Majority of the women I hear, they say they want a man to do this. They want a man to look like this. They want a man to have this. But what do you bring to the table? Well, I don't bring nothing to the table. Well, guess what? You ain't gonna have no damn man then. The man that you like to meet ain't gonna meet you. Ain't gonna have shit for you. Because you can't do nothing for him. I can care less about your education. Your accolades, that benefits you. Your accolades don't teach you how to keep a man. It teaches you how to survive in the world, in the world workplace, but it doesn't teach you how to keep a man. Certain things are taught. Let's meditate on that alone.
And many of them are really under delusion, believe that they are God sent.
God sent. That's right.
And many of them know they're not God sent.
Valentine's Day coming up. There's going to be a lot of lonely women using their rose or using their fingers as a show. Most women, their behavior and their character, men, it's a crash course right there. Okay, I need to stay away from you. Because most women, they tell you about themselves right off the rip.
Because a man can't take being cut down by the woman that he loves. If you cut him down, what you gonna do with him after you cut him up? You might as well put him in the frying pan and eat him.
Sometimes people are running from themselves and they don't want to face themselves. They don't want to look in the mirror because it's too painful. The truth is too painful. And this is why people try to ignore it, try to deny that there are any flaws or anything that they need to work on, because they don't want to revisit or search deep within themselves to pull out that trauma or whatever has caused them pain in the past, or the pain they may have caused to others. People inherently don't want to face those things. But anything that you want to work on, anything you want to get better at, you have to face your own demons. You have to face the things that are causing you to either be the way you are, causing you to have that toxic mentality or toxic behavior, or it's just this demeanor that isn't pleasant to others. Those are the very things you need to face. That's the thing you need. You need to run to your issues, your inner person, your inner demons, not run away from them. Because the longer you run away from them, the further you get from the truth, the further you remove yourself from the truth. And as the saying goes, the truth shall set you free. Well, a lot of people, especially women in my opinion, don't want to face the truth. You don't want to focus on the things that are toxic in your life, and especially the things that you are causing, the toxicity that you are causing. So when you enter into a relationship, you don't want to see yourself. You know, a lot of women aren't self-aware, and sometimes it's done on purpose, because you don't want to see who you really are, because you don't like that person. So a lot of times we create a facade, a false representation of who we really are, because that is easier to accept. That is easier for you to accept or believe.
I know that so well, because a woman that I've married, and I was married for 14 months, this exact same thing, putting on a facade, having people thinking she's this away, but at home she's that away. And because of her deep-rooted childhood issues that she didn't deal with, showed up in her marriage. And she destroyed her marriage and don't even realize what she has done.
Don't cut your man up. All black men have the potential to be godly, powerful, great men. But you got to know how to bring it out of them. Y'all all right?
Means that you have some horrible characteristics, or you have some things about you that you know are toxic, but you're not really ready to change them. And this is why I said sometimes when you meet the person that you say you want, you realize you're not prepared for them. You're either intimidated by them, they make you feel a certain way, because you're not prepared for the type of man that you say you actually want. A lot of women are out here talking about this emotional, intelligent man, and you want men who are this way, and you want this, you want him a man who is whole, who's, conquered his trauma, and he's, got it all together. When in reality, you know that you don't have it all together. You know that you need to work on a lot of things, and you haven't started the work. And so it all shows when you get with a man who's actually done the work, and he's very self-aware and knows who he is, then he's going to move a certain way. And when he starts to move the way he moves, it's going to intimidate that woman.